Everything went wrong. All the people at that school, at that Catholic church, they were going to a Catholic school. They were in prayer at the time. Okay, look, all those people, if they're looking for one specific moment where everything went completely wrong that would lead up to that dude doing what he did, you can point to this document right here, because this is the moment when everything went completely wrong. This is when it was solidified within his mind, and he's like, I can't go back. It's like written down. They tell you whenever you're making goals, what do they tell you to do? Write them down, because you bring them from your mind to reality. The thing that I don't understand is that I am very curious. This woman, Mary Grace Westman, as far as I'm concerned, is responsible for this, because you as a parent, and this is just my personal opinion, okay? My personal opinion is that you had a lot to do with this, because it is your job as a parent to guide your younger human in the correct direction. And when you do shit like this, you don't virtue signaling. You selfishly virtue signaling. So you can tell everybody like, oh, my son, he's trans. You know for a fact that that's exactly how she was, trying to get everybody to be like, oh my God, that's so progressive and amazing. Little did she know what she was setting her son up for. What was she setting her son up for? Confusion. It's an epic fail. This kind of shit makes you want to go, okay, did you keep your child ever from running out in the street? Because kids want to do dumb things. Before they become adults, they want to do stupid shit. That's just what they do. It's your job as a parent to allow them to do stupid shit that won't destroy their life. You have to walk the fine line between guiding them and letting them learn at the same time, but also keeping them from killing themselves. I guess she was just like, our son, he plays with Barbies. He just what he wants. And I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with a boy that wants to play with Barbies. Fine, play with Barbies. But damn well, she was like, don't you want to play with some Barbies? He's like, not really, but I guess. And it's like he was brainwashed by his mother. That's the sad part. I feel like he was brainwashed by his mom. This does not, by any means, make what he did okay at all. But the thing is, we have to look at the bigger picture. Otherwise, it will continue to happen. Let's keep going.
Application good faith, order granting name change. His parents supported it, by the way. Mary and Robert, his parents, supported his name change to become a woman, Robin M. Westman, previously Robert Westman, identifying as a female, and wants her name and whatever and regular identification to match that. Parents. Now, I wonder, perhaps the parents should be charged in this, because they clearly were participating in a lot of the insanity. We saw a lot of things written on his weapons, like end Donald Trump, rip and tear. There were a lot of video game references. There was a lot of Zoomer references. You can see on their notebook, they have their...
It's so sad because, the initial thing that led up to this is the parents. Like I called it on my other video. I'll leave a link in the description. But the day this happened, I called it out. I called it out exactly what I thought had gone down. And oh my God, it took a brain surgeon. This dude was brainwashed by his mom.
Defend equality thing.
And he had a pussy ass dad. That's just what it was. Or he didn't have a dad at all. I still stand by the fact. I still don't think he had a dad. If he did, he wasn't quote there. He was quote unquote there, but he wasn't there.
With the weapon, you see obviously the picture. Again, it's very, very, very. So you see here, Champagne Joshi was probably one of the first to break the story. I'm not going to play their video because screw them. But they had this screenshots, went by Robin W1312. I can almost guarantee the channel's been deleted. I would certainly imagine, because he uploaded all of this. some of the other pictures here. Here's a 20-minute video of him flipping through the manifesto while whispering, "I know you exactly what I know you exactly what I'm doing, exactly what other disturbing phrases." He had writing on all of his magazines and all of his weapons and everything like that. Finally, he also posted a YouTube short of him flipping through the manifesto and talking to himself maniacally while pointing at it with his weapons. Here's another post 4 years ago of him reading a dryer manual. And YouTube deleted it. Also, there's a tip here that his mom used to work at that church. Here's a screenshot announcing her retirement. Here we have, on Sunday, we honor Mary Grace Westman, who is retiring from Annunciation.
Who has completely destroyed people's lives. And I don't care, man. The whole point of this channel is to just say what I think, and I don't give a fuck. I don't care that she gets pissed. I don't care that she looks like the bad person. You are the bad person, you fucking idiot. You're the bad person. What are you doing, you fucking moron?
She has provided such wonderful hospitality. So there's his mom.
Yep. There she is. There's the one that's responsible.
Yeah, here we have the mind of Mega at work, right? This is, again, here's his manifesto. I'm not going to read the whole thing here. I will on the live stream. If you tune in live over on Quartering Live or on Rumble, after you see this video, we'll be going through it more in depth. But he had a picture of Jesus taped on a body target in his YouTube manifesto. I don't want to hear the media saying this wasn't against any particular ideology. Obviously, Donald Trump on the weapon. Minnesota Lieutenant Governor Penny Flanagan, protect trans kids with a knife, obviously. Here we have defend equality with a...
What a fucking dumbass bitch, man. Like, look at that. What a dumb... Talk about shit that fucking don't age well. This is a dumbass bitch.
A knife, obviously. Here you have defend equality with a weapon on it. You have all these other things. Like, there's some weird stuff on here that doesn't really make any sense. There's like weird, I'm sick, I know it, I don't care. This guy was almost certainly on SSRIs. I suppose we'll have to see, but I will keep updating you throughout the day. Obviously, I have other news.
And see, that's the thing, is like, whenever you start giving women hormones and shit, like, come on, man. Like, you see how crazy women get just like normally? These are women that are supposed to have that hormone in them. They get nuts. What do you think would happen if you gave a guy that shit and now his biology within his body is going, what the fuck is going on? This is crazy, man. Like, we ain't supposed to be doing this shit.
Talk about, but this is a pretty big topic. Keep it locked here. Subscribe or follow wherever you are, and maybe pop over to live stream, which is linked in the description.
So somebody is in this dude's head, and they have just completely mind fucked him.
Here's a person.
Only thing worse than that would be a fucking stick figure.
A deeply disturbed. See, update: the suspected Minnesota individual is a defend equality sticker in his manifesto that included a rifle over a trans flag. He also pursued the legal name change of Robin, his apparent trans name.
No, his parents pushed that. His mom did.
Anybody who is using this as an opportunity to villainize our trans community or any...
Look at this dude. He's trying to move like Gavin Newsom.
...other community out there.
What a pussy.
Has lost their sense of common humanity.
You're joking, right? It's not just this individual. It's like 8 out of the last 9 people have identified as trans who are going and removing children from the planet. The idea that he would get up there and virtue signal is
absolutely selfish as fuck. Cares about nobody else but himself. He's not looking at, man, maybe things ain't so good. Maybe things are going bad.
Probably the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. And there's still more to show you in this video.
We should not be operating out of a place of hate for anyone.
Look.
This fucking guy, dude, he could suck a dick, bro. Fuck him.
Look, I'll stop hating the community if they stop taking children away from their parents. Deal? Can here's a challenge. Go a year without doing this again. How about 2 years? I mean, and by the way,
like I said in my other video, which is going to be in the at the end of this video, I'll show it somewhere. It'll be a link. Clearly, It's a slow burn mental illness that parents are actively trying to place upon their children through their own selfish, goddamn virtue signaling wannabe ways.
Targeting, a Catholic church. This says Mayor Jacob Fry is fuming that people are villainizing the trans community after a member of their community did a horrible crime. Again, and the last 5 or 6 in a row. Good news is the FBI is now investigating the Minneapolis Catholic school incident as an act of terror and a hate crime targeting Catholics. Absolutely should be.
Yep.
And 100%. I 100% support this. And I think the parents should be investigated.
I think the parents should definitely be investigated, because what the mom did, it was she's the one that caused this, as far as I'm concerned. She's the one that caused this.
The parents seemingly actively participated in, this kid's mental
brainwashing. That's what they did. They brainwashed their own child. And then whenever he started trying to find himself, like, dude, like, dress up goth for a year, then dress up like a cowboy. You can figure that out, yeah, go fucking experiment. But to do something like this is just so undoable in his mind, because it's like, it's put down on paper. Like I said, once you take it from your mind and you write it down, it's like real. And so that left him even more fucking confused.
Issues, allowing him to change, allowing the guy to change his name to a woman's name while under 18. Who knows what kind of hormones this guy was on? Where did he get them? Where did he get the weapons? Where did he get the money for that? The parents should be investigated. I mean, that's what they did in Michigan, right? Now, here's another disgusting cover-up. Here's a police chief saying, there is no information to share regarding the motive behind this guy targeting, very obviously, a Catholic church and young kids.
Yeah. And
also having end Donald Trump on one of his weapons, or the LGBTQ symbols.
This guy, the only thing that would have made this more apparent of his motive would be if he had shouted it from a rooftop as he was doing it.
That wasn't enough.
And a relationship to the church or to the school. I have no information to share on a motive, other than saying again that there was.
That's because you're a pussy.
Some sort of manifesto that was timed to come out on YouTube. It's been taken down, and our investigators are going.
Because we don't want you to know exactly what his motive was and why he did what he did, because he felt so fucked up from doing this whole trans thing and being brainwashed by his mom that we don't want to make them look bad. So I've been told to not say that, rather than being being an unpussy and getting up there and going, yeah, he was trans. He was pissed off that he was trans. He was confused. His mom fucking brainwashed his ass.
Through that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that there's a pretty clear motive here. There's a reason that they chose a Catholic school, obviously.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man.
By the way, 2 years before today, leaders of independent and Catholic schools in Minnesota begged Democrat Governor Tim Walz for help securing their schools. According to a 2023 letter reviewed by the Daily Wire, the funding was never authorized. Minnesota Catholic school leader warned Tim Walz of critical school safety threats, and he did nothing.
That's because he's a pussy too. He's not a real man. The one thing that all these motherfuckers have in common, they're not real men. He's like, oh, we're good. We're good. We're fine. Everything is fine. Everything's great. We are just tiptoeing in the tulips. Fuck out of here, bro.
Nothing. Here's a quote from Jim Banks, calls it like it is after the suspect did what they did. When you affirm mental illness instead of treating it, people get hurt. I'd say that that's true.
I mean, obviously.
By the way, here's that mayor at George Floyd's ridiculous funeral, kneeling before his golden casket, pretending to cry.
You gave up everything for this. Oh my God. Shut the fuck up, you dumbass.
So that's who we're dealing with.
God.
His golden casket for a guy that is a career criminal and OD'd, in my opinion, right?
No, yeah, he did. He had fentanyl
Now,
in his
there's
fucking
a lot
tongue.
of
I mean,
other,
like, in my opinion, he did too.
I had this thing where CNN, I think I have the clip here. Hold on a second. The news is also participating in the cover.
What I am really curious about is what is it going to take for these news outlets to break and go, you know what, this is not the way. Teaching our kids to be trans, and like, you think about it. If you look back, there was a year ago, there are trans dudes like dancing in like bikinis in front of little kids. She would be the mom that would take her kid to that, confusing him even more.
Up by saying, well, geez, here's MSNBC. You think they'd cover anything? They're just not going to go into the details of what the Minneapolis lunatic wrote in his manifesto. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah.
I think we can be pretty confident.
You know, we don't really want to get into the details. It's really disturbing. They're making it sound like they're like this good, noble citizen news outlet. Like we don't want to bring it up because, you know, it's going to hurt people. No, you don't want to bring it up because it's going to make you guys look like fucking idiots.
That if this dude had been wearing a Make America Great Again hat,
he'd
be reading every word.
Shit, man. You would have news outlets, just all these fools would be talking about how, yep, another MAGA fucking shooter. And it's like, dude, the right isn't even violent. It's the left that's violent. That's what's so surprising to me. And what blows my mind every day is the fact that you guys are supposed to be like progressive and like, you know, all about peace, love. That's what I remember, what I used to remember anyways. And now all of a sudden it's like, you can't even have a conversation with these fools. You can't even ask questions. You ask a question, racist, bigot, homophobic, xenophobic, misogynist. They just throw all the words out there. Boom. All of a sudden, next thing you know, you're a Nazi.
Every single word of it.
So we're still trying to get a better handle on. We're still going through the videos and going through the writings. So just to describe.
It takes a lot of work to just see, to look at the photo of kill Donald Trump and then, you know, kind of like everything else and then realize, oh shit, he's trans and he was a Democrat. We gotta protect him. We gotta protect the Democrat state.
To folks, their YouTube videos where there's a number of either journals or they look like journals where there's a number of writings, not all of them in the English language, or some sort of Eastern European.
This dude, when it comes down to it, here is what led up to this, and here is why we are here today talking about this video. It's because his mother, 100%. I really feel that. I feel that way, and I feel like it's her. It was essentially her that you know created this confusion within this young man rather than being guided. She's trying to push something onto him, trying to manipulate him, trying to brainwash his ass. So now he gets out into the real world when he's 18, and you cannot help but be like massively confused. How are you not confused? I mean, your parents were telling you all this stuff that you should be. You hear your mom talking about how horrible men are. Yeah, and she's like, you want to be a woman, right? Of course, why not? I mean, like, duh. Because I hear you talking how much men are pieces of shit and how horrible they are. And if I don't agree with you, then I'm a man and I'm a piece of shit. That is the problem. That right there. Her talk, I guarantee you, she talks some shit about men. Never talking about how they're good, how good the nuclear family is, because, you know, you have the man who's the ball buster, you have the woman who's like the soft side, and it takes both of those entities to create a successful child. In my opinion, you have to have both, not just a woman or not just a mom, not just a dad, because you get extremes of either side, which we can see in this example right here. You don't get the, hey, no. He might have had, there might have been a man in the house. I don't know. But you know what? He wasn't a dad. He was just a man there, sperm donor. You don't see that motherfucker standing around anywhere going, what the fuck? Because you know what? If my son ever did this, I'd be like, you should go out solo. You better do it, because God forbid you get out of prison, I'm going to be the first one there waiting. And see, if they don't know that, if they don't feel that, they have to understand that there are consequences for their actions. And see, the thing is, when dads and fathers don't act like that, then they're like, You know, you can't. You can't wait till they're 23 to start trying to teach them life lessons. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint when it comes to raising kids. You have to start early, because once they get to 23, you ain't gonna be able to do shit. What are you gonna do? You ain't gonna do nothing. They're gonna tell you to go kick rocks, bro. Go kick rocks.
Language that's used. Some of it is in English. And this individual is writing about a whole host of things. Won't get into all the particular details.
Oh, you don't want to?
Of
course not.
We're not here to do the reading of this individual.
They're writing about a bunch of stuff, and we don't really want to get into it. You don't have to get into all of it. All you got to do is say they were trans and they were confused, and they felt like they entered life, beginning adulthood, massively confused because of what their parents did.
So you're not going to do that. You're not going to get into the specifics. Why? Because this is like the 20th far leftoid, or at least trans individual that has committed heinous crimes. Like, that's why this is. You know, that's like, they're covering this up. I mean, is CNN even covering it? Let's see. CNN Minneapolis. Let's see if CNN's covering it. Unbelievably stupid comments on CNN discussing the Minneapolis incident. They're just making it about, CNN had some doofus on claiming that semi-auto, can take out dozens of bullets in just one trigger pull. That's not true at all. That's full stupid. Automatic. I think. Here, CNN Dana Bash.
But you know what? To the dumbass out there who has no understanding of how guns operate, they just hear that and they go, "Yeah, he could have." It's all about the gun rights. It's all about the gun rights. Had we taken the guns away, he wouldn't have done this. No, he would have done it. He still would have done it. You stupid fucking idiots.
Praises Minneapolis Democrat Mayor Jacob Fry for scoffing that anyone would be looking into prayer right now. So he insults prayer. Listen to this.
I mean, he's expressing something that I know you feel. And
wait, let me grab this. He says, well, something bad happened to them while they were praying, so why pray? I believe that was the comment.
Of these as just somebody else's kids.
Who would do that?
Those families are suffering immense pain right now. Think of this as if it were your own.
Yeah, and I go, you let another motherfucker like this, you let another mom out there who's gonna brainwash her child and fuck him up. Yeah, I don't want them. That's what I'm thinking about when it comes to my children.
Every one of us needs to be wrapped.
I don't want that motherfucker anywhere near my shit.
Wrapping our arms around these families, giving them every ounce that we can muster.
Pussy.
These were Minneapolis families. These were American families, and the amount of pain that they are suffering right now is extraordinary.
Nothing wrong with what he's saying so far.
Don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church. These are kids that should be learning with their friends.
So, again,
he clearly has no idea of the actual situation, because they were at school. It's a Catholic school, you dumbass. They should be learning with friends. So what you're saying is they shouldn't be praying. Like, what are they doing praying? They should be learning. Religion is fucking dumb. That's essentially, he should have just said that.
Insulting thoughts and prayers. Of course, gotta blame the tool that the lunatic used, not the lunatic. I just think, like, if people were more religious, this type of stuff would probably happen less.
Yeah, because they wouldn't be getting brainwashed by their fucking parents.
The mayor of Minneapolis is Jacob Fry. He's running for re-election.
Here's Scott Jennings.
He ran down to the church today and promptly, surprisingly, shockingly attacked people for praying. Couldn't believe it when I heard it, but let's listen to the mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Fry, decrying, again, tragedy in Minneapolis of the shooter. Still emerging, but it is a dark day, has to say.
I think we pretty much have every detail. And then here's where CNN says, yeah, it's cool to bash praying.
I mean, he's expressing something that I know you feel and most people feel, which is a combination of sadness. But
this chick is dumb as fuck. This one right here.
Forget about thoughts and prayers. These kids were literally praying when they were murdered through the church window.
Unbelievable. And
that's right. Stop praying. The government.
And she's like, I'm going to say something really stupid right now.
Government is your God. That's what they want. Absolutely deplorable behavior. I hope you're informed by this video. Make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, don't miss out and a hate crime targeting Catholics. Absolutely.
Yeah. I read somewhere in his manifesto or somewhere that he was confused. He was frustrated that he had that he was brainwashed. I think it was in his manifesto. He was pissed off that he was like that he had brainwashed himself. You talk about brainwashing. When you can convince somebody they have brainwashed themselves, that is some good shit. Anyways, if you want more, listen. If you're tired of all these news outlets and YouTubers not just telling it how it is, then subscribe and like and hit the bell icon, because here we are unfettered and we don't give a fuck.